Now, Boris Johnson has been hammered on the left for not doing enough during this pandemic. He's been attacked on the right for doing too much. The media, which was once fully on board the Boris bus, have decided to climb out the window before the ticket inspector, Dominic Cummings, arrives. As September marches closer, the Prime Minister is under growing pressure to be seen to be taking a lead on how schools should reopen. He has already decided that pubs will take a hit in order for children to return to full-time education. However, has Boris Johnson and his government began to implement a robust system that will ensure the trust of parents, teachers and staff? Well, no. But he does have the next best thing, a public relations campaign. Johnson has said that the virus poses less of a damage to children's health than not getting a proper education, and promises that schools will be carefully managed as they reopen. The problem is that the risk to Britain of a second wave this winter is twice as large as the first outbreak if schools reopen without drastic improvements to the current test and trace system. If you remember, schools closed in March during the lockdown. Now, some children were exempt, those of key workers. Schools reopened again in June for a limited number of kids, so September is being seen as the month when everything pretty much goes back to normal regarding education. Boris Johnson has called the return to full-time education in September a national priority. However, teachers' unions have called on the government to provide clearer guidelines on how to make schools safe. They have recently said that they will advise their members not to return to school if staff feel they are insufficiently prepared. Many parents are also concerned about sending children back to school that could potentially become hotspots for the pandemic. Economic issues are also on the minds of parents who fear that kids being sent back to school is part of a plan to force workers back into offices and potentially dangerous environments. The government desperately need people to return to work in order to save the economy and, of course, save the Tory party, which is currently running the country. Schools provide a means of childcare, but if they are closed, working parents need to avail of other means. If people can't afford childcare and the government doesn't assist them, then they will be more likely to accept sending their kids back to school and hope for the best. And this sadly is where a PR campaign comes in. Don't bother convincing the public that schools are actually safe, just trick them into thinking it. This tool has worked during Brexit and the last general election, and it looks likely to succeed once again. So, what do you think the campaign slogan will be? Get school done? Let me know in the comments section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. Why not become a Patreon and enjoy access to our Discord server where we share news, chat, and have some fun? If you become a patron, you can also make video suggestions on topics that are important to you. Check it out via the link in the description.